at 4 p.m. Call to order. I think we have a declaration of quorum, so that's good. Item 3, I'm looking for a motion to approve a consent agenda for the May 27th agenda and the February 25th minutes.
I'll make that.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great, that motion passes. Do we have any public comments? Anybody online?
Nobody online.
All right. That's good. Item number 5, chairperson comments. I know we haven't met in a while. I think it's really a good time to do that. I was gonna say late spring, but boy, it feels more like midsummer already. But there are some things to get updated on and discuss. So I'm glad we're meeting today. Thanks for coming. Number 6, committee comments. Does anybody have any comments they'd like to make?
Just that the park looks really nice. It's like Cripple Creek is really coming together. Parks look good for Memorial Day. Thank you, Ben. And your crew.
Great. So I'm going to turn it over to Ben for item 7 and give us some updates on the parks and the playground equipment in particular.
Thanks, Chairman. We'll start the cemetery. Obviously Memorial Day is a kickoff of I call it the cemetery season, right? People are out planting flowers, cleaning things up. So the guys worked really hard last week. Wednesday, Thursday, get the cemetery mowed, cleaned up. So we had quite a few people out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Monday we had a Memorial Day program with part of the VA and whatever school was out there playing. So that's always, we don't do a lot for that. We set up some chairs and things, but it's always a good event to be part of. So I know everything went good out there. So at this point, the cemetery, no big issues. This time of year, we pick up stuff that's been laying around from the winter, and my phone rings. Why'd you pick that up? Why'd you pick this up? But it's, to me, I'm the one that normally goes out with the guys, and if it looks like it's dead and it looks like it's been blown around, I pick it up. So, we've got pretty good ordinances out there to make sure things maintain, keep it within your area. So that's something we always strive pretty hard on. We always have whatever cemetery. So cemetery is in good condition, and hopefully we get a little rain to keep everybody's plants greening up and move forward. There's water out there that we give to the residents. We've got a faucet, so if they come out there to water their flowers and stuff, that we supply that out there. We don't water the whole cemetery. We water the new section 5, but the rest of it does not have a sprinkler system. So moving in the next, we'll start with the parks. Splash pad, we did open that up last week, Thursday. Got that all put together, no issues, which you never know during the winter, whether there's solenoids and things like that, fixtures, but no issues there. Guys did a good job getting that ready to go. We'll plan to get that power washed next week. We normally go down there and give the pad a good power wash, clean everything up for the summer season. Try to do that basically once a month. Normally June, July, and August we go down. It basically takes a day, and when the summer help starts, go down there and pressure wash the pad and get everything cleaned up the best we can. But other than that park, we did have a pine tree that got hit during the summer storm or the fall storm from last year, and then this spring it took another hit, so we didn't remove one of the bigger pine trees on the last week or two. So with the safety, we don't want any limbs or anything hanging above anything, obviously, for the summer rentals coming up. We started last week. We had one graduation last week. This weekend it's empty, but then it's going to pick up. And that can be more in the conversation. We move into 8 or whatever, but we did start off our season with rentals. Moving into the other park, if Triangle Catholic Church, no big issues there. That park is not a lot of maintenance there. Just mow the grass there, make sure things are done, cleaned up. So no issues at that park. North Park up there on 4th Street. We had a lot of tree damage from this spring storm. Guys went up there and finished up cleaning up the trees, and we had some ruts and things in different areas. So we got that cleaned up the other day. So I see that park was functional, no issues moving forward with that. Ripple Creek, that's been the hot item. My phone rings quite a bit, and maybe you as board members, you'd receive some calls. Obviously the new playground equipment, from the legacy grant that was received last year, the playground equipment itself has been installed. They finished that up, last week. We had to go in there after that and basically lay down, 2 to 3 inches of rock, inch and a half rock we laid down. And now basically waiting for the Port and Play company to come. We left it at 9 inches. They come in, they lay some more rock down, and then they put the rubber Port and Play, what you see at the Rapids, and that's the new recommendations. Like everywhere else, waiting on a contractor, it is what is, I have no control. They say we're the first one on the schedule. I call them on Mondays. I called yesterday, got an update. They claim next week they're gonna be in town, they're gonna be working. There's nothing I can really do. Obviously, I know the school wanted it end of the year. They're winding up next week, Thursday, Friday. I was really hoping to have it completed so that kids could enjoy it, but I'd be honest, I don't see that being realistic. So, obviously I want to push for as soon as we can. People do call me right now. I tell them they're going to be here early June, which obviously June 1st is Monday. So what's out of our control, I do have signs up. Basically, park is closed the best I can. I mean, we're not going to purchase fencing to block it in. We have signs up, and I take pictures just for liability reasons. And I've mentioned it to the police to keep an eye on the baseball and softball teams, the people down in the park, and I try to monitor it. So, but it definitely turned out really good, and looking to finish it. It'll be huge accomplishment for the village and everybody involved in it. But like I said, we're just waiting on the contractor to get here to put the Port in play. Otherwise, the swings are up and functional. The wood chips, everything's been installed. Otherwise, for Ripple Creek, the Port Edwards High School finished up their softball season. Now we're moving into Little League season, and they do a great job helping the school. They drag the fields, maintain them. We just cut the grass there. School did a great job with that, and Little League has been doing a good job, maintaining the dugouts and things like that the best they can. That's kind of the trade-off. We mow the grass, but they take care of the dragging, the lining of the fields, things like that. So at this point, we're just maintaining the grass down there. We did get down today, the disc golf course after the storm. We finally were able to today. I was able to send 3 guys down there. They were able to clean some trees and mow down in there. So fighting the wood ticks and mosquitoes, but I appreciate they went down this morning. It was cool and at least got it opened up. The disc golf course, it's back history for anybody there. When that was put in, it was supposed to be maintained by the disc golf course organization. Like everything else, they've kind of disappeared off my radar, and whoever I contact is no longer there. So we mow the grass, we clean it up, but I know some of the pads in the areas that were carpeted there's some, you could use some TLC down there. I'm going to try to keep reaching out and see if we can't get a hold of organizations that maintain that, because that was the whole intent, was the village to give them the property. We installed the baskets at that time, but not to maintain, the disc area. I'm not a disc golf, but whatever you throw off, there's pads that got carpet you're supposed to throw. So I'm going to try to reach out to that. I know I've gotten some residents say, well, you guys need to do this. And I said, it was an agreement that we would mow the grass, keep the big trees off. But when it came to actually maintaining the disc golf course, we didn't, that was one of the worries we had. I mean, we don't have the funds to maintain it. So as we go into the summer season, I'm going to keep working that. If not, see what it actually is going to entail, and maybe we can work on something else. But I'm really pushing for their organization to maintain it, because that was the original agreement. Dog park has been good. It gets used. Anybody lives in the village or around the village, I mean, that thing is crazy, the amount of traffic. They do a good job helping maintain. If I call them, they're Johnny on the spot. So that partnership has worked out good. And I hope to keep that partnership together working. We kind of wind into the park. So I did apply for a legacy grant back in April. Did make it to the second phase. Don't know where it's at right now. Basically to pave 7th Street that goes to the dog park. If it's familiar, it's gravel, it's dusty. We got the school forest on the end. We've got the dog park. We got Little League. Had a lot of organizations that use that road. So I was able to try to tie all those together in the grant application with that, and then including blacktopping the path around the park. And then finishing up with the last section of bike trail from Bunker to the Tender, Wisconsin Drive, that has not been refurnished. So I did tie that together in a legacy grant. Did make it to phase 2, so there's still hope. So we'll see where that goes. Normally awards in that are June and July, so we'll see if that's something we get awarded. So be nice to kind of tie that all together with this park project. So like I said, more details to come on that. Before I get into number 8, does anybody have any questions, anything that I've mentioned or talked about? Jeremy, you got any questions or moving into 8?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay.
So item 8, well, let me tell you why that's on the agenda, and I think I mentioned it at the full board meeting. I was just talking to Ben about, always looking for revenue, and I wondered, well, how long it had been since we raised the rates for the shelters and so forth, and it hadn't been that long ago. And Ben mentioned to me, and actually, there was a drop in usage, so raising the rates seems like a really bad idea. So it shifted from, well, should we raise the rates to, are there any ways to promote the use of it, any creative ideas to just be able to promote more use out of it? So that was the purpose of the conversation, if there is one, and I don't know the extent to which we promote it now. But, I'm thinking and I don't get on Facebook, so I don't know, but is it promoted on Facebook? Are there ways to think about?
I know,
People,
I think I've done once or twice on my personal one and on the president page I have about just saying, here are park options, here's the rental available. Now that we had Gage's graduation party last weekend there, I was gonna take some of those pictures that I took from back, right? And just say like, this is the space, here's a kitchen you can have.
oh, nice.
So just kind of promoting it that way, like it's a useful facility. You have the splash pad right there. Which is helpful too if you have a party with kids, in the
Talking
park.
about putting this on the port Facebook?
Well, I think we probably can, just so that,
I mean, that'd be a pretty good idea. You
Yeah.
could do video, you could go take a few pictures of it. I'll volunteer to go do a couple of them if people want, narrate, and then just basically add this to the list of everything that you get with it. I think if people see it, they'll be much more interested than just hearing about what's there.
Yeah, I mean, right now, obviously, it's on our website, but I can definitely boost it up here. In the next week or two, I can take pictures and follow through with whatever your wishes would be, no problem.
Well, once we do, then let's just see if there's any increase in usage. A question, does El Cafe cater, if people wanted
I
to?
think they do.
Yeah, there's been quite a few different caterers that have been
They have been.
a part of that, and I know, we've shared to the Chamber of Commerce. I attended a meeting last week and obviously let them know about the shelter too. So yeah, I think I think definitely going with a new round of promoting is not a bad idea. So, maybe if Betsy gives me the pictures and she's okay, if there's people in there, that's always the question, making sure that you don't take a picture of somebody and use their
Yeah.
name. Otherwise, I'll just take a picture of the bear, the park and things and try to push that out there. Kind of back to Eric's history. So, probably 10, 15 years ago, and this thing was probably, there was when the graduation was parties were a real thing. There were people fighting for it. I mean, there was definitely, and I've seen since COVID, right or wrong, we definitely have seen a decrease of graduation parties. We've seen a decrease of family reunions. I mean, a lot of I don't mean to be that, but the older generation did a lot of family reunions. You don't hear a lot of the newer, but that was a thing, and we've just, those people may have passed or no longer do that. So that's definitely some of the reasons that we've, the events we had. It's we can hold, it kind of says in the sheet. I mean, it can hold 100 people, 120. I mean, so it's not big enough for a wedding. I mean, we've had a couple smaller weddings. It's not big for a full wedding, and obviously with the parks. When you're renting the shelter, you're not renting the park. And I've had some calls, just like the new playground, we have a shelter Ripple, but just because you're renting the Ripple Creek shelter, that doesn't mean that you're renting the playground equipment. Yeah. Just like the splash pad down here. I mean, I know that about a year ago, I kind of had to explain this to me because they thought they rented the park, that the splash pad was theirs and they were kicking people off the splash pad. The splash pad is it's a community area. You're renting the shelter, the picnic tables underneath that's your area. But obviously the splash pad is to the community, same as the new playground equipment. I mean, you're not renting the playground equipment, you're renting the shelter there, but that doesn't stop another family from coming up and picking a picnic table and having a picnic or using the playgrounds. I think that's pretty common anywhere. I mean, if you go to Nepco Lake Shelter, I mean, you have the shelter, it doesn't mean that you have
The beach.
the beach in the full area.
Or the
So,
playground and all that stuff.
yes. So,
Yeah.
but that was just a little bit of back history, but I think the sheet, staff, we kind of updated the parks sheet. That kind of included all the different items and all the parks. So I thought that was a good added to bring this committee tonight.
I really appreciate the detail in all of these, because I think, there's more park space and stuff that I think everybody realizes. So, not everybody, but some people realize, so. Good to know.
I'll definitely follow with some pictures and get that going. If, you know, if you
Okay,
guys
well,
have
let's
some better
just see.
ideas, that's, no. I'm
See if it pops up.
Yeah,
I'll see if I have any pictures of people in it. I was trying to take pictures of the space, but I don't remember what I was doing that day. It
so,
was a little crazy.
and that's, you know, then last year with the Y and the demo site, I think once everything gets cleaned up, you know, the Y with the 24-hour fitness and the new road going on down there, I mean, it's gonna be definitely a nice little area to keep going. It's not a big maintenance thing from the village staff either. So.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe we could get, just thinking out loud here, since we have a couple of courts in the Y down here now, maybe get a kind of a local tournament going and then have the shelter for, you know, food and stuff afterwards. I'll look into that.
Yeah, no, Randy, whatever I can do to help. No problem.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for this discussion. Very helpful. Moving on to number 9, are we doing old business now?
We haven't taken it off yet, so I mean, we can talk about it as long as it just says, it's like an update and we don't get into a debate or in
Okay.
a discussion.
All right, is there any then? Hearing none? How about something new? Anything?
So nothing new and it's nothing. So, this committee about a year and a half ago brought in residents, to talk about, you know, a village community event. So the downtown business districts and myself, and some other help basically is looking that they're gonna have an event down here, August 28th, I believe. So last Saturday in August, they're calling it, Port Palooza, I believe. The business owners have put it together. They're gonna have a couple bands down here. It's gonna be like 4 till 8. Closed down market. El Cafe is gonna be with all the business owners are gonna be having beverages. They're gonna have food trailers here. Tom's Garage is talking about doing a bags tournament. Like I said, 2 bands, talking about doing a fun run. The businesses have really come together to put this together. So I think it was good. We started the initial conversation and they kind of ran with it. Obviously from the village standpoint, you know, I'm supporting it as getting tables and things like that, but not bringing any staff in. I mean, nothing that's gonna cost the village anything above and beyond the normal routine. So I think it was good. It started here and they took away and it's good to see the businesses trying to get back to the people that give to them. So
Good.
look forward to that event and more updates to come on that.
Yeah, thank you. That's a nice add. Given the cost of gasoline and so forth and with the mowing, how are we doing with,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, try to keep everything the best we can. You know, as the summer goes on, it will be maybe challenges to the end, but at the end of the day, I'll make sure the grass gets cut. I mean, if it comes down to, moving things within the parks budget, maybe not replacing a parks door. There's a couple projects that I had in mind, replacing a shelter door and things like that, that I'm going to put on hold until later in the year, just to make sure we can mold it. So it's definitely a concern of mine and the staff and there's just only so much we all have yards to maintain at home too. We know what it is too. But you know, definitely it's on the radar and if I feel there's something that maybe that I promised to get completed, that I won't be able to, I bring it to, at this point, I think we're okay, but we'll see if it warms and dries up and the grass burns off. Sometimes we're only mowing it twice a month. Right now, we're mowing it once a week, maybe twice a week at the parks, but we'll see. We'll see what the weather does moving forward. So, but yeah, thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, no, we'll definitely keep a close eye on that and hopefully we can make it through no issues.
Thank you. Item 11, did anybody receive any correspondence that needs to be addressed?
So I just received some again on the Ripple Creek Park, which I mentioned that, and that's, we're doing the best we can to get it completed. And at the time the contractor is, there's nothing that village staff or village board needs to be concerned about. I did receive some correspondence about the playground.
Okay. Thank you. Next, meeting agenda items.
I would say a parks update, obviously Ripple Creek Playground.
Yep.
Would be a key component at that time.
What about the legacy grant?
Yeah, and the legacy grant, hopefully we know, by then, if everything comes together, I would say the next meeting, maybe we could meet at Ripple Creek. It'd be nice to, if it's the project is complete, I'd like to have this committee meet at Ripple Creek.
Love it.
I guess we'll wait and see. I'm hoping by then it's completed, so TBA, I guess, on the place of the meeting, and I don't know if, being that we're gonna do it at the same time, I mean, if we need to move it to 3:30 to make sure people get back here for 4:00 for a 4:30 public safety meeting. I guess I would recommend that we set that today at 3:30. If everybody be okay with that, that way if we're meeting at Ripple, I know a couple of you are on the public safety committee, we could get back here for a
Okay.
4:00 or 4:30 public safety meeting.
And what's the date in June? Forgot my phone, so
Fourth?
Yep. June 24th at 3:30, and we can just put location to be.
Okay.
Like I said, I would hope by then we can meet at Ripple Creek and have a final completion of the project.
very good, very good. Without objection, then I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 4:42 PM.
Pretty. 22.
22.
22, excuse me.
I was like, wow,
I saw the 4 there.
that's the long.